So let's have a roundup then of the Europa League quarter-finals that have been played over the last 2 nights in Germany. Let's kick off with Manchester United against FC Copenhagen, or Copenhagen. Romeo was in for De Gea. Romero was in for De Gea. It was very hot there apparently, 32 degrees Celsius, even though it was 9 o'clock at night. And I watched brief highlights. It wasn't a classic for sure, but basically pretty poor finishing by both sides. A lot of efforts from distance kept the games goalless. It has to be said that Copenhagen had probably the better of the chances in the first half, but as I say, goalless. Into the second, United were slightly on top, really, but nothing too significant. And Martial looked quite lively. He had a couple of shots that were saved by their keeper, Johnson, who had a pretty good game. But we got to full time and it was still 0-0. So into the dreaded extra time with the threat of penalties if it remains scoreless. But on 94 minutes, Martial was brought down in the box. It looked a bit soft to me, but after VAR had a look at it, Fernandes stepped up, and he's such a cool guy under pressure, and he deposited the ball into the corner, and that was 1-0 to the Red Devils. Basically, they managed to get through to the whistle with not too much discomfort, so took the game by 1-0. The other game played that night was Inter Milan against Bayer Leverkusen, and Inter got off to a great start, 1 up after 14 minutes, and then Lukaku on 20 minutes doubled their lead with some audacious play in the box, managing to hook the ball in while he was on the floor. The arrears were reduced to 2-1 a little later, but that's as good as it got for Leverkusen, and they managed to hold on, so Inter winning that one by 2-1. Now to last night's matches. First of all, let's get to Wolverhampton, who were at home to Sevilla. And it was pretty even. 10 minutes though, a rampaging run by Traore on the left, and he eventually got brought down in the box. After some delay, Jimenez stepped in, but it was a poor effort and it was easily saved by the keeper. It was pretty even. Sevilla looked pretty effective with their passing, but poor finishing, and got to the break goalless, and then the second half it was pretty cagey stuff. The Spaniards were definitely in the ascendancy, but to be honest, Fabrizio didn't have a lot to do. But then on 87 minutes, a glancing header hit the bottom corner, and so the Spaniards had taken the match by 1-0. In the final match, Shakhtar Donetsk versus Basel from Switzerland, the Ukrainians got off to a great start, winning 1 up in the first minute, and they got into their groove, scoring a second on 21 that had a wicked deflection from a shot from the edge of the box. Second half, a trip on one of the many Brazilians who were playing for Shakhtar in the penalty area. Anyway, the resulting penalty was converted for 3-0. 3 minutes from time on the break, they slotted in the fourth, but the scoring wasn't over. Basel got a consolation in added time. So that's the quarter-finals done and dusted. But I have to confess that in my previous show I gave some wrong advice about the matchups. It was basically an error on the web page, which I read. But apparently now Sevilla will play Manchester United in one semi-final, and Shakhtar Donetsk will play Inter Milan in the second. And those matches will take place at the beginning of next week, after the 4 Champions League matches are played over the next few days. So, Manchester United against Sevilla and Shakhtar Donetsk versus Inter Milan, the semi-finals of this year's Europa League.